So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen. I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute, man. And today, prepare to have your mind blown away. This is the 15 largest oil rigs on the planet. Not playing. No games, right? All right. So if you ever had a fascination with oil rigs, this is where you need to be right now to check this out. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button, join the family, and let's go.
These oil rigs are responsible for extracting oil from some of the biggest oil fields on the planet. They're large enough to withstand heavy seas and the worst weather imaginable. So join me as we take a look at 15 of the largest oil rigs in the world. Number 15, the Hibernia platform. This massive oil rig is located 196 miles from St. John's, Newfoundland, at the Hibernia oil field. The platform consists of three components. The first is the topsides, which accommodates drilling, producing, and utility equipment.
196 miles. Yeah, you out there all by your lonely. You know what I'm saying? Help is far away. You got to do your own, you got to provide your own, like, fire brigade, different things like that to protect yourself out there and try to mitigate the situation.
The first is the topsides, which accommodates drilling, producing, and utility equipment. It also has living quarters for Hibernia platform workers. The other two components are the gravity base structure and offshore loading system. This oil rig has been producing oil since November 1997 and was Newfoundland and Labrador's very first offshore production platform. When the Hibernia field was first discovered, it was believed that it had a life of 20 years. However, that life has since been extended to past 2040, thanks to daily maintenance of the equipment, reservoir modeling technology, and extended reach drilling. The Hibernia platform is currently the
fire brigade we was just talking about, bro. Prayers to those guys. You know what I'm saying? We've seen some of these fires break out on these oil rigs, bro. It ain't like you can stand far away and shoot water towards it. They're there. They're there on these platforms with this fire trying to put it out. So prayers to them. Man, that's a tough job.
Largest oil platform in the world by height. And as of 2010, the Canada, Newfoundland, and Labrador Offshore Petroleum Board listed the estimated reserves as being 1.3 billion barrels. Number 14, the Olympus. Weighing in at more than 120,000 tons and sitting 40 stories high, Olympus is a massive structure located in the Gulf of Mexico, 130 miles south of New Orleans. The structure is attached to the seafloor about 3,100 feet down by large, thick pipes. The platform itself floats, but unlike other oil platforms, Olympus does not sway. There are 192 people that live and work on the rig, and they generally work for about 2 weeks at a time. Given the oil rig's location, it's built to withstand the worst weather that the Gulf of Mexico can throw at it, including hurricanes. Oil production began in February of 2014, and the platform features 24 wells. Olympus is also known as Mars B and was owned by Shell. It's Shell's largest floating deep water platform.
Listen, I know it could withstand hurricanes, but I don't want to be on that platform when a hurricane is out there, though. Who could you imagine? Again, it's nobody for miles to come get you. Nah.
Number 13, the Bullwinkle oil platform. Bullwinkle was the first ever freestanding offshore compliant tower. This is the second tallest structure built in the water, measuring in at 1,902 feet tall. This massive rig is located off the coast of Louisiana. It's owned and operated by the Hess Corporation and was designed by Hudson Engineering in Texas and was installed by Harima Marine Contractors. This impressive platform stands in over 1,600 feet of water, and because it's so big, it was built in multiple sections that were put together at the final destination. Bullwinkle is designed to sway during a storm. The Hess Corporation is the fifth largest producer of oil in the Gulf of Mexico, with Bullwinkle contributing to a lot of that production. It has 7 wells that can pump out 50,000 barrels of oil per day.
Jeez.
Number 12, the Blue Whale 2. The Blue Whale 2 is a unique oil rig because unlike conventional oil rigs, it's self-propelled. As such, it can drill in water that's over 11,000 feet deep and reaches far down as 49,000 feet. The rig was built by China International Marine Containers Company, which is a subsidiary of China's Merchant Group. Officially, the Blue Whale 2 is an ultra-deep water double-derrick semi-submersible drilling rig. The rig is 383 feet long, 301 feet wide, and 387 feet high. And it's not the first of its kind. It's a sister rig to the Blue Whale 1. That was the rig that successfully completed drilling trials for flammable ice or methane hydrate. Together, they are the most advanced rigs of their kind. The Blue Whale True can travel at speeds of up to 10 knots, so it can position itself in the optimal location for the field. It can also withstand high winds, as high as 124 miles per hour. Blue Whale 2 is owned by Blue Whale Offshore, and it, along with Blue Whale 1, may very well be paving the way for this more advanced type of rig. Number 11. Gullfaks C oil platform. The Gullfaks...
Now that one there don't look like it could withstand a whole lot of wind. Just from looking right now from this vantage point. Look, yeah, that don't look like it could take too many of them hurricanes in the Gulf.
Oil field is located in the North Sea, in the Norwegian sector. The field was discovered in 1973, and the initial recoverable reserve is 2.1 billion barrels. There are 3 production platforms at the Gullfaks oil field. Gullfaks A was completed in 1986, Gullfaks B in 1988, and Gullfaks C was completed in 1989. But of the 3, Gullfaks C has garnered the most attention. This is because Gullfaks C is the heaviest object that's ever been moved to another position. The platform's about 1,250 feet tall and produces 250,000 barrels per day. It has a displacement of between 1.4 and 1.5 million tons. It's a concrete gravity platform and requires a crew of 300. It's currently believed that Gullfaks C can be used until 2036, as seeing as it started in 1989, it will have had a pretty long life when it retires in oil rig years. Number 10. Kashagan Field. The Kashagan Field was discovered in 2010, and when it was, it made headlines. Why? Because the Kashagan Field is considered to be the largest discovery in the world in the last 30 years. In fact, at the time of its discovery, it was the second largest oil field in the world. Located in the pre-Caspian Basin, this massive oil rig started production in 2013, and it's expected to have a life that extends past 2040. There is an estimated 13 billion barrels of recoverable reserves, but the location makes drilling very challenging. The water is very shallow, there are high levels of hydrogen sulfide, and the environmental conditions are harsh, with sea ice during the winter. The main development in the field is called Island D, and it's connected with 12 oil wells. There are approximately 5,000 workers there who live on the barge called Vivaldi. Eventually, production at the site should reach 370,000 barrels per day.
Could y'all do it? I know a lot of y'all just only think about the money. Y'all thinking about the money, and I don't know for sure what the salaries go for on those oil rigs, but I can imagine they're well up there. But other than the money, can y'all do it with all the risk?
Number 9. The Lula oil field. The Lula oil field is located in the Santos Basin, about 160 miles off the coast of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. The discovery of this field is considered to be the largest oil discovery of the last 30 years in the Western Hemisphere, when it was discovered in 2006. The Lula field currently produces 922,000 barrels per year, with 7.5 billion recoverable oil barrels. The field's operated by Petrobras, with a 65% controlling stake, and the BG Group, with a 25% hold, and the Galp Energia, with the remaining 10% hold. The Lula field and the massive amounts of oil there are expected to transform Brazil into a global oil giant. This field was previously known as the Tupi oil field, but the name was changed in 2010. Currently, the Lula field is one of the biggest producing ultra-deepwater oil and gas fields in the world. Number 8. Oil Platform P-55, Brazil. P-55 is the largest semi-submersible platform project in Brazil. It began production in 2013 in the Campos Basin's Roncador field, and is capable of producing 180,000 barrels of oil per day. The platform is part of the Brazilian federal government's Growth Acceleration Program, and the government invested nearly $1 billion into this unit. The deck alone weighs in at 17,000 tons, and all in all it weighs over 105,000 tons. It was designed by Petrobras Centpes Research Center, and it took several years for this platform to come to fruition. The technology involved in the platform is solely Brazilian, and the semi-submersible unit sits in water 5,900 feet deep. P-55 will work alongside its predecessors too, P-52 and P-54. Number 7. The Bullwinkle. The Bullwinkle oil platform is located in the Gulf of Mexico in the...
Now this is super dope here. We saw this on another video, bro, how they bring everything out there after they design it and get it set up. That process right there is insane if you ever see it.
Green Canyon Block 65, roughly 160 miles southwest of New Orleans. It stands at 1,736 feet tall, with 1,352 of those feet below the surface of the water. The Bullwinkle is a fixed steel platform supported by piles. The platform was installed in 1988, and this large oil rig weighs in at 77,000 tons. At the time it was built, it was the third tallest freestanding structure ever built. The Bullwinkle was owned by Fieldwood Energy, but in 2010, Superior Energy Services took over the Bullwinkle platform. It cost an estimated $500 million to construct. The jacket, which is the part of the platform that's submerged underwater, was built by Marine Gulf Fabricators from 1985 to 1988. The jacket was built in Ingleside, Texas, at the North Yard location, and then had to be moved out to sea. It was transported by way of barge, and the jacket was the second tallest object ever moved, next to the trolley platform. Number 6. Mittelplate. As the largest oil field in Germany, Mittelplate has one of the biggest oil rigs around. The oil field's located in the Schleswig-Holstein-Wadden Sea National Park's tidal flats, which is an environmentally important region of Germany. Mittelplate fields account for nearly 65% of Germany's crude oil reserves and has produced roughly 146 million barrels of oil. The field was discovered in 1981 and production began in 1987. The western part of the field has 18 production wells, and since the oil rig is located in an environmentally sensitive area, Wintershall Dea, the sole shareholder of the field, has set international standards for drilling in environmentally sensitive areas. By using a closed-cycle disposal system, the field ensures there is no negative impact on the Wadden Sea nor the North Sea. The field also minimizes shipping traffic, as well as limits light and noise emissions to protect the sensitive fauna in the area. Mittelplate with its state-of-the-art technology coexists with the environment while still providing Germany with copious amounts of crude oil. Number 5. The Benguela Belize Lobito Tomboko.
The outside of some of these, they kind of look like prisons, don't they? If you didn't have those tall towers to the top right here, and you just looked at it, what you think? Maybe Alcatraz or something like that?
Angola might not be somewhere you think of when you think of oil, and the Benguela Belize Lobito Tomboko may not be something you can say 3 times fast.
No.
But this long-named oil rig in Angola is one of the tallest oil rigs in the world. Located in the lower Congo Basin off the coast of Angola, approximately 60 miles offshore in the Cabinda coast, the platform is in water that's 1,200 feet deep. The rig's owned and operated by the Chevron Corporation, and is the first compliant tower in Africa. It also boasts the world's largest single-piece pile ever installed. The massive oil rig has the largest topsides operated by Chevron. They're so big that they take up an area that's equivalent to roughly 2.5 football fields. The topsides are supported by a large compliant piled tower that stands in 1,200 feet of water. The rig also has living quarters for 157 people and has a design life of 25 years. Number 4. Perdido. Perdido is Spanish for lost, which is what some of this massive rig appears to do as it descends deep into the water. Perdido is the deepest floating oil platform in the world, and it's at a water depth of 8,040 feet. It's owned and operated by the Shell Oil Company. The rig sits in the Gulf of Mexico, and just to give you some reference about how big this rig really is, just above the water portion of it is almost as tall as the Eiffel Tower. It sits in the Perdido Fold Belt and began production in 2010. At its peak production, it produces 100,000 barrels of oil equivalent and 200 million cubic feet of gas per day. The hull of Perdido was built in Pori, Finland, which was problematic because it was built in a colder climate and the pieces would expand once brought into a hotter climate of the...
That's what I was afraid of right there. Let me back up. That's a scary sight, fam.
Built in a colder climate, and the pieces would expand once brought into a hotter climate of the Gulf of Mexico. So computer-guided lasers were used to mark out the measurements and make sure the measurements were precise. The hull was brought over on a barge from the Baltic Sea to the Gulf of Mexico. The platform itself is comprised of 3 decks, or topsides. These topsides have living quarters for the workers, oil and gas processing units, and the drilling rig. It features 27 miles of network pipelines that connect 35 subsea wells and require 172 workers to keep it running. Perdido is in a remote location, so it also has the largest safety boat of any Shell facility. Just in case, the safety boat can accommodate 24 people. There's also a helipad that can accommodate 2 Sikorsky S-92 helicopters.
So those tugboats and safety boats, they stay there the entire time. I didn't know that. I'm thinking, like, but that's good. That's good, man. You see how much I know. I learned something new. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, yo, you just out there. Now, I would think they would have some type of safety precautionary plan or something like that, but I didn't know they keep a boat right there for those type, you know what I'm saying? But you're praying that fire doesn't catch on to the boat, you know what I mean? So that's like your only lifeline.
To the tune of 19 passengers per. Number 3, Petronius. Behold the behemoth Petronius, not just the tallest freestanding oil platform in the world, but one of the tallest freestanding structures in the world, period. Standing at a towering 2,001 feet high, Petronius is a deep water compliant oil platform.
Yo, is this part of the job description? Ain't no way. He just jumped in there like it was nothing.
It was built between 1997 and 2000. At the time it was built, it was believed to be the tallest freestanding structure in the world, until its title was usurped by the Burj Khalifa in 2010. Still, as oil platforms go, it's still a record holder. At first glance, Petronius may seem unassuming because only 75 meters of it are above the water. It's capable of extracting 60,000 barrels of oil and 100 million cubic feet of natural gas per day. The platform's located in the Petronius field, about 130 miles southeast of New Orleans in the Gulf of Mexico, which was first discovered in 1995. The field contains an estimated recoverable reserve of 80 to 100 million barrels of oil equivalent. Petronius is operated by Chevron and Marathon Oil, and the project cost an estimated $500 million. Petronius features a unique design. Most platforms are designed to resist forces, since strong winds and hurricanes are a constant threat to a lot of oil rigs. But Petronius is designed to flex with the forces of the wind, waves, and current. And as such, the oil rig was able to withstand a lot of hurricanes, including Hurricane Katrina. However, it was hit hard by Hurricane Ivan. All the workers on the platform were taken to safety, but the rig was shut down for a bit while it underwent repairs. Number 2.
That's good to hear, bro. Because I couldn't imagine them having to sit there and just withstand that. That's good to hear.
2. Troll A platform. The Troll A platform isn't just a massive oil rig, it's also a world record holder. The Troll A platform holds the Guinness World Record for the largest offshore gas platform. It was granted the title in 1996. It's also the tallest structure that has ever been moved to another position, the second heaviest object ever moved by mankind, as well as one of the largest and most complex engineering projects in history. The Troll A platform is located off the west coast of Norway in the Troll gas field. It's a con-deep gravity-based structure, and it's operated by Equinor. This platform has a height of 1,549 feet, which is 600 feet taller than the Eiffel Tower. It weighs 683,000 tons and stands on 4 legs, each of which extend 994 feet downwards to the seafloor. The legs extend so far down that it takes a 9-minute elevator ride to reach the seabed from the surface of the water. The legs are over a meter thick, and they're made from steel-reinforced concrete. The platform was built by Norwegian contractors from Norsk Shell. The construction for the base started in 1991 and cost about $650 million at the time. The deck was built separately from the base, and the two were joined together in 1998. To get the platform to its location, it was towed more than 120 miles from the northern part of Rogaland, Thoughts, to the Troll field.
This thing is big enough to have its own, city, you know what I'm saying, on it.
All in, the tow took 7 days to complete. The platform features 40 wells, and the gas is exported through a lot of pipes until it reaches processing plant at Kolsna. And as if the original platform wasn't big enough, the Troll A platform underwent an expansion in 2010. A new module was added to the platform. This new module had a control room and living quarters for workers on the platform. Number 1. The Berkut oil rig. The Berkut is officially the biggest oil rig in the world, and so it's only fitting that we gave this massive rig the top spot on this list. Weighing in at 200,000 tons, the Berkut oil rig is located in the Sea of Okhotsk, just north of Japan on the Russian Pacific coast. The rig was built for the Arkutun-Dagi field, which is a massive field that spreads out over 60 square kilometers. This field contains recoverable oil reserves estimated at 72 million tons. Berkut means golden eye in Russian, and the platform is 344 feet long, 196 feet wide, and has a height of 472 feet. The rig's expected to extract a staggering 4.5 million tons of oil every year, and 12,000 tons of oil daily. And since the rig is located in one of the coldest and most frigid places on Earth, this rig is, of course, ice resistant. The rig can run without a problem in temperatures as low as negative 28 degrees Celsius. This rig is part of the Sakhalin-1 development, which operates 3 fields in the Okhotsk Sea: Olduktu, Arkutun-Dagi, and Shavio. The rig is operated by Exxon Neftegas Limited, and its sheer size and weight make it one of a kind as far as oil rigs go. Watch our machines playlist for more top.
All this stuff is one of a kind to me, but it's all super fascinating though, bro. Just to see that, think about the day to day, what they endure, the different things they have to overcome. You know what I mean? We just go and pump our gas and don't think nothing about what took place beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, man, and then the massive amount of money that's generated. But you heard one say it was 500 million to build from this company, and probably more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, bro. This whole oil rig setup, operation, like to the maintenance to keep it going, the hazards, different things. Like, if you work there, you probably was selected to work there. You know what I mean? I only imagine them taking like the best of the best to be there, to operate that. It's so important. You get what I'm saying? So, but this was the 15 largest oil rigs on the planet. I'm about to ride out because if y'all don't hear in the background, it is thundering like crazy. So I'm gonna check y'all on the next one. It's your boy L to the next reaction. I'm gone. Peace.